Welcome to FamilyPreneur, the podcast for parent entrepreneurs
raising kidpreneurs.
It's time for your weekly dose of inspiration and actionable tips to build your business and find better balance, all while strengthening your family. And now we'd like to introduce your host.
She's my mom and thebomb.com, Meg Brunson.
Hello and welcome to episode number 59 of the FamilyPreneur podcast. I am really excited for another Family Friday episode, and today I want to reflect on the new year. So this episode is releasing on Friday, January 11th. So we are 11 days into 2019, and a lot of what I am hearing about and seeing has to do with some form of resolutions. Last year, 2018, was the first year that I identified a word. So I know there are a lot of people who take this approach. They identify a word for the year, and that's the word that they use to guide them through their decisions and to keep them motivated and on task. And in 2018, just as an example, my word was visibility. So I wanted to be more visible. I wanted to speak on stages and guest on podcasts and just kind of get myself and my name out there. And that's really what I focused on throughout the entire year. And of course, some of it spilled over into 2019. Now, there are other people that go the traditional resolution route, and they make a resolution for something that they're going to do in 2019. And along the same respect, there are some people who prefer to set goals. What I really wanted to talk about today was this goal-setting process and how it looks for us as familypreneurs. Now, first of all, you should do whatever strategy makes the most sense for you. If you like resolutions, go for it. You prefer goals, go for that. You want to pick a word, pick your word. This year was actually the first year I made a vision board, so a visual representation of what I want to see in my life in 2019. Or I'm also kind of taking it as what I want to work towards in 2019. So it's completely possible that everything on my vision board may not come true this year, but they're all guiding principles that are going to help me get there eventually, and I'm totally okay with that. So I'm going to actually share a picture of my vision board in progress because I'm sure that, I will make some changes to it as we go, but I will share a picture of that in the show notes if any of you want to go take a peek at what I am working on or get some inspiration. The one thing I really like about a vision board is that when I designed it, I started by taking a variety of different focuses. So there is a portion of my vision board, a square, because I have a unique design that I got from my friend Dina Patton. You may remember Dina from episode number 27 of the FamilyPreneur podcast. She's the one that gave me this amazing vision board template and idea. But each square represents something different. So there's a square for business, a square for family, a square for health and wellness. There's all these different squares, and each one focuses on a different aspect of your life, which kind of leads me into the topic I want to talk about today. And that is the fact that we tend to give a lot more attention to the growth and the success that we want to see as a business, and we're not giving that same attention to our family. So a lot of what I'm noticing in Facebook groups and in the community is that people are setting these words, right? Like my 2018 word of visibility. It had nothing to do with my family. It was totally a business goal. And in reflecting back, I feel like I missed an opportunity. When I interviewed Jaylene McGill, she was episode number 16 of the FamilyPreneur podcast. So you can go back to megbrunson.com/16. That was one of the episodes that I feel like I really took a lot out of when it comes to how I want to set goals for my family, not just goals for my business. And what I love about that interview, and one of the things Jaylene said, was that she has decided that the standard, the measurable criteria for being a good mom is that her kids report back that they had a happy day. And that's one of those really important things when it comes to goal setting, is it can't just be arbitrary. Like, I want to make more money. Okay, we all want to make more money, but you should be setting some actual goals that you can measure that success. So maybe it's increasing your revenue or increasing your profit by 5% a month or by 10% a month or whatever makes sense for your situation. Setting a goal so that you can track that even if you didn't hit it, you're making progress, and then remembering that progress is perfect, like it's getting you there, and that you should be happy with any progress. So the discussion with Jaylene, I love that she gave me a way to measure success as a mom, and it doesn't have anything to do with the dishes that may or may not be piled up in my sink, or the laundry that may or may not be clean yet unfolded in a basket in my living room. So what makes you the mom that you want to be? And this all will help with that work-life balance that everybody is struggling with, right? For me, being a good mom doesn't mean that my house is sparkling clean. Now, it shouldn't be a dump, but I mean, it doesn't have to be sparkling clean, okay? So it can be a little messy. It doesn't mean that my kids have 24/7 access to me. I believe that they need to be bored in order to inspire creativity. I believe they need to have independent time. To me, being a successful mom just means that at the end of the day, my kids are happy. It's so simple. It's so basic. But at the end of the day, I mean, isn't that what we want? Our days may not be perfect, but as long as the kids are happy, I feel like that's a success. So this year, in addition to setting goals and intentions for my business, I'm taking some extra time to make sure that I'm setting goals and intentions for my family. Now, I know there are some people out there who do this, right? They're just really good and they have all of this stuff figured out. But I know that there are a lot of people who don't, because I'm one of them. And you may be thinking, well, I'm too late. Like, we're already into the new year. Like, these goals, these resolutions, these words, you know, they're meant to bring us through 2019, and 2019 already started. It's not too late. You can set these goals any time. Let today be the day that you decide to make a change, that you decide to set a goal in an area of your life that was previously neglected. And maybe it's not family. Maybe you have family and business goals. Do you have self-care goals? You know, jot down, and I'll put in the show notes a couple of the different categories that I considered and or used for my vision board. But jot down some ideas, like what areas of your life do you feel like are lacking the most? When you think of work-life balance, or as I like to say, FamilyPreneur balance, where do you feel like you struggle? In those areas that you're struggling, those are the perfect places to start playing with some of these goals, these resolutions, and setting words of intention. There's something about having a vision and having goals that it just makes every day a little bit more exciting, because you're not just showing up to show up and doing work just to do work. I operated like that for many years. Instead, now I'm working towards very specific goals and a very specific vision. And it's funny, as soon as you identify those things and you become more intentional about how you're spending your time and how you're spending your money and how you're spending your energy, all of those things really do start to become true. I remember when I first started hearing about manifesting, I thought it was fluffy and silly and weird. But now I'm seeing that there's a psychology behind it. From this episode, I hope that you take away the importance of setting some sort of goals or a vision or keeping something in mind that will help take you from point A to point B. It might be a month, it might be a year, or a year might be the stepping stone. By putting those visions, those goals, those resolutions, writing them down, posting them where you can see them, keeping them in the back of your mind. I even saw somebody who had their vision board. Actually, I believe it was my friend, Carrie Ann, who's one of my favorite photographers, that she had her vision board as a screensaver on her phone. I love that idea too. How often do we look at our phone in the screensaver, and to be able to look and see constantly the things that you're working towards? I thought that was a beautiful and great idea. You could do the same thing on your desktop wallpaper if you're more of a desktop user. After listening to this episode, I hope you'll swing back to the show notes. Again, those show notes are going to be at megbrunson.com/59. So head over to the show notes, take a look at my vision board, and then start intentionally planning your year in the way that makes the most sense for you. 2018 was a pretty good year for my family, and I want 2019 to make 2018 look basic. So let's do it together this year. You and I are going to set some goals, we're going to be intentional, and let's make 2019 our year. Sound good? I hope so. If you haven't already joined the FamilyPreneur community, you'll want to go to familypreneurcommunity.com. That'll redirect to our free Facebook group where we're talking about goal setting and a bunch of other familypreneur topics. All right, that's it for today. On Monday, we are going to talk about Facebook. We're going to talk about friend requests, privacy, and how to handle clients requesting access to you on your personal Facebook page. Thank you again so much for spending some time with me today, and I will see you on Monday. Bye now.
Do us a favor. Share this podcast with a friend who is also building a business and raising a family. It's like my mom always says, sharing is caring.